With our styling and general layout structure in place, it's time to start utilizing the power of Umbraco to render our content data on the front end. In this video, we'll render dynamic values, these values being the content entered on our content in the content section. Now, let's jump in where we left off in the last video. So this is our front end so far. We have our body text property rendered out here, and the rest is static content from the HTML template. And we've also added some style sheets and some images to our project to make it look a bit nicer. This homepage has a lot more potential to add more fields and more data. And this is exactly what we'll be working on for the rest of this video. We'll be expanding our homepage document type with more properties, then we'll be adding some more data in the content section, and finally we'll be updating our homepage template to render all our new data. Great, let's just dive right in and head back to the Umbraco backoffice. Alright, first up, let's change the editor used on the body text. We'll go to the settings section and find the homepage document type here. Now, in order to change the editor used on a property, we click the little cogwheel here to the right. This will open the dialog from when we added the property. Okay, in order to update or change the editor, click on the name here. So instead of just a simple text field, we would want some more options. For that, we will need the rich text editor, and we'll create a new instance of it. Let's just call it body text rich text editor. Now, a rich text editor is much like your average text editor. You can add different configuration options like bold and italic text, bullet lists, image, links, so forth. I say we go for everything that's already selected here, perhaps also adding in the underline option. Below there's a bunch more options to customize the rich text editor even further. For now, we will leave all these default. Great, let's submit the settings and submit our property. Alright, before we expand on our homepage document type even further, let's have a quick look at the front end to get an overview of which properties we want to add. So, the first part here is already our body text property. Then we have a gray banner area here. To fill this, we would need a heading, some sort of text, an image. We have a block section. We'll skip that for now, as we'll come back to that later on in this video chapter. And we have a call to action down here. For that, we will need also a heading and some text, and a link and some text for the button here. Great. Well, let's start with adding the properties for the gray banner area. Back to the document type here. And let's create a new group for these properties. We will call it gray banner. And add our first property, which will be the heading. We'll call it GB heading. For this, we would want a simple text string, like this one. Submit it. And moving on to the content, we'll call it GB content. And for this one, we would want to create a new rich text editor. So let's search for the rich text editor, create a new one. Now this one should be a bit different than the other we created for the body text property. Instead of having all these options, we'll slim it down a bit. So I'll go ahead and deselect most of them. I'll keep these bold and italics options. And down here, I will also leave the link option. Everything else goes. There we are. Okay, and the default settings, we'll keep those. And let's just call our rich text editor, we'll call it limited rich text editor. Okay. Submit the settings and the property. And finally, for our gray banner area, we want an image. We'll call it GB image. And for the editor, we want a media picker. And we will also create a new instance of this one. So there's a few configuration options here. We do not want to enable multiple items, as we only want our editors to select one image for this one. And we also only want them to select images, so let's check this one. This way we ensure that Other file types can't be selected. Okay, I think that was it. Now we just give it a name. So we will call it single image and submit. And there we have it. That's all the properties we need for the gray banner. Isn't it cool to see just how customizable Umbraco is? We can really see here how we can configure our document type to ensure we get just the right type of data added to our website. So let me just add some more properties for the call to action area and come right back. As you can see, I've added a set of properties for the call to action section here. There's a few text strings, a text area, and a multi-URL picker for the button link. Now, before we move on, let's just take a quick look at our multi-URL picker here. So we click on the cogwheel here. As you can see, I've configured the multi-URL picker so that it's possible only to select a single URL for the picker. This will be important later on when we render this link in our template. For now, we will close this down. All right. So we're almost ready to start rendering out the data on the front end. First though, let's add some custom data in the content section. So let's head over here and find our welcome home node. So I've actually already filled in all the simple text fields here, as these are pretty self-explanatory. What's missing now is the image here. So let's go ahead and click the plus to add an image. And I'll drag and drop an image from my file explorer into the area right here. Select the image and submit it. There we are. And finally, we also need to add a link down here to our button. So we'll click add, and you can see we have a bunch of different options here. We can add a URL up here, or we can even choose between our existing content. For now though, I will add a link to umbraco.com. There we go. Oops. There we go. And I also want it to open in a different window. So I will submit my link. Save and publish. Great, we now have data. All right, before we can see any of this data on the front end, we need to render all the fields in the template. So let's head over there. Settings, templates, and our homepage. So let's scroll a bit down to the main content section here. We've already added our body text field. Next up is the gray banner. Yes, again, I've already added some razor code for most of these fields. To add them, simply hit Insert, Value, and pick the property from the list. So I haven't yet added the image for the gray banner. That's because this value is a bit different than the other text values. So let's see what happens if we use the insert value here. So we'll find our image, GB image. There we go, model.value GB image. Submit and save. Now, let's see if our image is rendered on the front end. We'll refresh it here. Scroll down. Yes, so this is currently what we're rendering out. So we need to do a bit more in order to render out the actual image here. In order to find out how to render out your properties on the front end, it's always a great idea to check out our documentation. I've found an article here called Built-in Umbraco Property Editors, which is a list of all the property editors that's default to Umbraco. Now, most of these have an article associated with them where we can find out more about the property. So let's go ahead and find our media picker. There we have it. And so we can see we have some examples here of how the data type definition looks, how it looks on content. And finally down here we have some code snippets as well. This is what we need for our front end. And for our media picker, we've decided to disable the multiple option. So we'll go for the snippet down here. I'll copy it, head over to our template, and paste it in here. And I'll just clean it up a tiny bit. There we go. So before we can use the snippet, we need to modify a bit. So we will need to add the alias of our image up here. So GB image. And to keep the styling of our site, we would also want the class here from our image tag. So we'll copy that and paste it in here after the source value. Yes. We don't want the styling added by the snippet. And we don't want this one either. Clean it up a bit. There we go. Then I think we can get rid of the original image tag. Let's save the template and head over to the front end. And there we go. We can now see our own image here on the front end. Great. Now let's move a bit further down our template here, skipping the block section and our call to action here. So again, I've added in the heading and the text values here, and we're only missing our button link. Great. So as with the media picker, let's head back to the documentation and find an article for the multi-URL picker. I'll go back a page here and find the multi-URL picker. There it is. Okay. So you see the same structure of the article here as with the media picker. And down here we have our snippets. So for the multi-URL picker, we configured it so it was possible to select a max number of one item. So that means we will need the snippet down here. Go ahead and copy that and paste it in under the call to action text. There we go, and I'll clean it up a tiny bit. So the first line here, I will just crop that out because that needs to go all the way at the top here. Whoops, there we go. Add a semicolon. All right, let's head back to our snippet down here. So as with the media picker snippet, we also need to modify this a bit to fit our properties. So this should be the alias of our multi-URL picker, which was CTA link, I think. You can always check the alias of your properties by clicking insert value up here. Let's see, CTA link. Yes, that's the one we want. Okay. And let's see, so we will again want the class from our link tag here. Paste that in. We would want the role as well. So let's grab that, paste it in here. We have the link here. All right, and the target. Okay, so we need, of course, our link text value in here. So I'll highlight this, click insert value and find our link text. It's there. Great, submit that one. Yes, it looks good. Now we can get rid of our A tag down here. Oh, and also these list tags are around up here from the snippet. Great. Looks like we're good to go. So I'll save the template and head back and refresh our front end. Great, let's see how our call to action area looks. Yeah, looks like we have our heading, our text, and we have a link as well. We do. Yeah. Great, our website is really starting to come together. And now you know the basics of creating content and rendering it on the front end. In the next video, I'll introduce you to master templates, which is a feature I highly recommend that you use. It will allow us to have most of our HTML structure in one file, which is then used as a master for our other templates. That was it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.